It's dangerous with your setup, sir.
It kind of is.
It's not dangerous. Why is it dangerous?
Because all next thing you know, it just falls apart.
Yeah, your arm's broken.
Explain this. She can't.
Science can't explain this.
You know what science can't explain?
Magnets.
Episode 32 of 10HrHour, Cyberpunk Part 2. I am Violent Panda. I am here with Squid
That one's me.
and Chasa.
Normally that would be me, but yeah.
Wait, what?
No, I'm just kidding. It's me.
What? Normally that.
It's an I'm an EP chaser.
Oh. EP chase. I was trying to think of an animal to go with it.
EPier than normal.
Advanced EP2. EP Part 2. Cyberpunk. Last week we talked about a few quests. It was more just overall thoughts on the game. We didn't dive too deep. I am currently sitting at 25 hours now. I think last week I was at like 15, 10, something like that. I am level 29 right now at Street Cred 40. Squid, where are you at right now?
Holy shit, your street cred's so high. I'm at 31 hours and 41 minutes, level 26, street cred 27.
I'm at 26 hours and 26 and a half hours, and I am level 25, street cred level 28. No, sorry, 29.
I think I'm getting more street cred because I'm hacking everything. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm so much higher. It's got to be hacking.
maybe. You're hacking everything, and I saw what your build is now, and it is fucking gross.
Do we want to go into builds then? I guess since it was
Sure.
brought up. We kind of had ideas what we wanted to do last episode. My build is not fully flushed out, but it's getting there. There's a few more perks that I want on my trees, basically, but mine is hack everything, quick hacks to do damage to enemies. Those quick hacks then spread. When an enemy dies, I get a percentage of the quick hack back, and since it's spread, it's free quick hack ram back to me. If I'm ever below 5, I'm not below 5 because it's like instant essentially. And I have my overheat at 5. So I essentially always have an overheat that can spread to give me more RAM back. And then I use the Nihon throwing knife, which causes bleeding. And then I just go running in and I can hold the attack to unsheath the weapon and cause hemorrhaging on a big enemy, which does an insane amount of bleed damage. And if I'm getting shot by a bunch of people, I can just hold right click and deflect everything back. It's really fun. It feels good. It works. It's kind of chaotic because I sprint faster when I do certain things. But overall, it's a really fun build. Chase, what are you doing? What you up to lately?
Well, so last episode I said I was going to go more of a silent assassin type deal.
Mhm.
Then I got into a mission where I had to be silent and couldn't be silent. So mitigation was not high enough or anything like that, and I wasn't able to actually do anything about it. So I just kind of turned into stay hidden and use my quick hacks, mainly the burn, to deal a little bit of damage before they can trace me. Pop them in the head with a silenced pistol. So I'm still silent, but I'm just trying to utilize hacks in order to deal damage enough to where I can one shot a lot of enemies, and not be traced to where I'm actually at. So it's more of a still very brute force, but it's a little bit different with using quick hacks to try to kill people quickly.
How you liking quick hacks?
They're good. It's not something that I am kind of just like instantly, what's the word I'm looking for? This is what happens when I'm double EP. Um, I can't. It's not just intuitive to me to be able to use things like that. I mean, I know it's similar to how like with Destiny or Division, you've got abilities, but I know that you've noticed a lot of the times when I'm playing Division, I don't usually throw out abilities unless I have to because of the builds that I'm playing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same deal here. It's not intuitive to me to just use my quick hacks all the time. I've been getting better at it,
Hmm.
but it's still not first nature. It's you know
Yeah. On that note, this is my fourth attempt at getting through the game, basically. I did all three prologues before this, and this is by far my furthest. This is the only time I've ever used quick hacks, and that's like all I'm doing. I don't
yeah
know what it is. It works for me right now.
you were showing me before I headed off for the trip that I had over the weekend, um, what your build did, and it was just quick hack, quick hack, quick hack, quick hack, and they're dead. Okay,
I have 19 RAM slots right now.
yeah, which is way more than what I've got.
Squid, what are you doing? What's your build like?
So last time I was going throwing knives and blades with a pistol. This time I did the same exact thing, but I finally got some upgrades to my cybernetics. I no longer have hacks at all, which is kind of weird because I go to use them and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can't do that. So I completely uninstalled all my hacks. I have really high mitigation, and then I have almost everything I do applies bleed or poison. Um, I've gotten the skills where if I get a crit hit with a throwing knife, I automatically get it back. If I don't get a crit hit, what I can do is run over and pick it up off the body once they're dead, and then the next one does 200% damage. Um, I am going towards a build where basically every thrown item is going to be a crit no matter what, so I'll just always immediately get it back. Um, I got mantis blades, which actually kind of made one of my swords a little redundant because the mantis blades can also block, and they do all the same damage. So I'm probably gonna drop one of my swords soon. I won't be doing the Nihon and Satori build anymore because I did end up getting the sword. We'll talk about how I got that later, I guess. But um, yeah, I just I'm gonna go double throwing knives, I think, and then as soon as I find a good one, and then my pistol, and then for my blade that can deflect, it'll just be my mantis blades that also allow you to hop around like crazy, which is really good because with my CPU, I can enter basically like invulnerable. Um, I don't really take a ton of damage, and while I'm using it, I can only use swords. But everybody I kill while doing it, and it like slows time too. But every time I kill someone with that, when it ends, I get 25% of my health back per person that I took out. So it's kind of my like, oh shit button because your health can't drop below a certain amount. I think it's 25%. And then at the end you get it back anyways. So then you just use mantis blades to jump back out of combat if you need to. So just stealthy speed and then tons of blades.
Double throwing knives is interesting. I
It
hope
is.
there's like really good iconic throwing knives or something.
That's what's holding me back right now is I haven't found a good second throwing blade. Like there are some that are okay, but I want like one that actually has really interesting stats. Um, but I already have Nihon, so there's got to be another one somewhere. I could also do like an axe. It doesn't have to be a throwing knife. I could do an axe. Most of the abilities work for like thrown axes as well. So if I find like a cool one of those,
I'm trying to remember. I think that there's a throwing knife in one of the missions, one of the Pan Am missions, and I don't know if that's exclusive to me because we'll talk about that later. Um, but
We can
there,
talk about that now if you want.
what?
Pan
Which one?
Am.
What about her?
I went back and watched the video. Man, Panic.
Panic was bad, dude. Yeah. No. So Pan Am is the romance for my character. Absolutely was interesting. Streaming on the 10-hour account all of a sudden. I was like, oh shit, sex scene. Here we are. All right. Panic. Fucking hide shit. All right, cool. But no, that
Uh,
mission is actually very interesting. Like the mission with the tank and everything. Is you didn't get that. So that must be for just the romance portion of it.
I guess Squid hasn't done Pan Am yet. Well, the quest. We can't do Pan Am,
Yeah.
but I
Only
think
I
I
can.
finished it. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I finished it. I wonder if, depending on your choices, though, that actual side quest is different,
Maybe. It
which
very
would
much
be
could be.
cool.
But yeah, no. So Pan Am is my character's romance. Um and she is straight, so the anybody that plays a female V will not be able to have that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I did try, and she's just like, "Whoa, V, like friends, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, friends, yeah." I didn't know, and I was like, "Okay, whatever." I wasn't necessarily trying, but the option came up, and I was like, "Yeah, let's see what happens."
Yeah.
Um, her story is really cool, especially playing as a nomad. I was like, "This is pretty cool." It's much more obviously nomad. She's a nomad, but like it fit really well with my character RPing like my V because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, there was one point where I won't spoil because Squid is doing it right now. Um, Stuff happened, bad things happened, and I go back to the city, and then somebody in her clan calls me, and I was like, "This is time sensitive. I know this is time sensitive." So I turned back around, and then I went back to the nomad camp. But it's like I just got to the city. Why does everything feel so time sensitive in this game? Like I just left there. Why are you calling me?
Right.
Have you done a Judy side quest?
Some of them. I don't know how much you guys have done for Judy. So
I can almost guarantee more than you. So you
probably.
should be good. I don't know where Panda's at specifically, though, but he knows the next step that happens.
Um, Evelyn is still alive in mine. I haven't touched anything to do with Judy's quest. She hasn't called me yet, even.
Gotcha.
Um, so I'm guessing, um, maybe I'm not far enough in the main story. I don't know why she hasn't called me.
I don't know.
I'm a,
Um
I just hacked the parade float.
yeah, so you're on the main mission
Hmm.
around where I am. You're actually on the one just ahead of me because I the mission that I had just done for that quest line was shutting down cameras and stuff like that in the actual area where the parade float's going to be, and then he's doing the reconnaissance right now.
I don't think I had to shut down cameras or anything. I just had him do all the reconnaissance and I left.
It's the step after. So, the part Chase and I are at is the step after what you did, and good fucking luck getting to the next part. I have been waiting for like 10 hours for him to call me back, and it's because I didn't do any of Pan Am's stuff because I don't like Pan Am. So, turns out that might be locked behind progressing in the others. Uh, so yeah, that's you guys will probably actually not have it too hard though, because you already did Pan Am stuff. I'm only doing Pan Am stuff so that I can get to Takamura's next stuff. So
I don't think you'll have to finish Pan Am stuff. I'm pretty sure you just have to get to the motel and then you'll be good to go. Because that's kind of like the intro to her, it seems like.
Yep.
No?
and past that, and he hasn't called yet. I just hacked the satellites and did that whole thing, and now I'm at the part where um, I have to go investigate the crash site, basically.
There is a lot to Pan Am's story though. Like
It's
that
the
that
longest one.
crash. Yeah, that crash and losing important things and stuff like that. Like it all plays into. I don't know how have you done that whole thing? The
I mean, like,
crash.
I saw Scorpion's body, but I wouldn't
Okay.
call him a thing.
Well, I didn't know how far you'd gotten. Important.
No, I know.
Wasn't.
I did the scan. Uh, Bit of a weird thing there. I scanned his body, I saw his name, and it's just, like, still pretending like I don't know. So that's kinda weird, but, I haven't actually gone in the crash site yet.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm thinking after this, Takamura will probably call me. He did ghost me, so I maybe he's just not happy with me. I
Maybe.
invited that man to dinner, and he just did not respond at all.
Is he a romance option? I didn't know if so.
There were there were ways to hit on him, doing what I did, and I didn't do the hit on him option. I was just like, "Yo, let's go to dinner sometime," you know, but, like, not the other one, which was way more obvious. And this man just did not respond to my text. I haven't heard from him since.
I
We had
wonder
a
if
nice
that.
conversation about yokai.
I wonder if you got that option because you're playing a corpo backstory. Because I
Maybe.
did not. I did not get that option.
Yeah, you should have. Well, when we were on the roof doing the surveillance there and, like, staking out together, how much did you talk to him?
No.
Did you have, like, full good story?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We connected. We talked about his background and my background and Bakenekos, and it was cool.
I don't like him.
I'm not big on him either.
What's the tweet?
I really like his backstory. And it's interesting seeing him kind of like, yeah, he's still going for the honor and, like, upholding his end of the corpo, you know, deal. But you kind of find out how he got pulled into it, and I think he's getting a little unbrainwashed. It's interesting.
It's crazy that we all did vastly different things and all ended up on the same or one mission before.
Yeah.
All around the same hours, like 6 hour difference, I guess.
Yeah.
Squid's at 31, I'm at 25.
And I'm at 26.
Yeah. Anything specific you guys wanted to talk about? Squid and I sorry. Squid and I got the DLC. So we started that. I think we just finished the prologue of that essentially. But it is pretty cool so far. And I definitely see why it's meant to be played alongside story. It's a lot of extra dialogue with Jack and a lot of things to do with you and Jack and a third character.
Johnny.
Johnny, yeah. Sorry, Johnny. Um I'm liking it so far. It's really good writing and everything. The enemies are scarier than base game. More to them. Like they
Okay.
don't feel like part of Night City, which it's a segregated area. Dogtown is what it's called. It's a region of your map in the base game. You just can't really go to it. It's essentially like it's self-proclaimed leader, and they don't want anything to do with Night City. They want their own currency, their own government, everything. And it's kind of just like a bunch of crazies, honestly.
Okay.
But it's a cool area. It does feel different.
It's a holdover from the war. So the guy who's in charge was kind of in charge of, like, the war there. And then when the operation ended and everything, he just said, "No, actually, I think I'll keep this area, and I don't think you're gonna do anything about it." So it's super weird. I accidentally invited someone to dinner there too who's very important, and I didn't mean to hit on that person, but V's moving up in the world on accident.
It's in the prologue, so I'll just ask, did you hit on the president?
Oh, I fucking hit on the president, yeah. Like, she did not say no.
The point of the DLC is things happen and basically you're rescuing / protecting the president.
Okay.
It's cool. It's like I've heard it referred to as like Mission Impossible type, and so far it's Mission Impossible in Night City. It's cool.
Hmm.
It's definitely meant to be stealthy, but trust me when I say you don't have to. There's one spot where I was opening my water bottle. It's like a twist top on top, and it's like hide from the drone, and I'm like, huh? And the drone just starts throwing lasers and shit at me, like just immediately opened fire. So I just reflected my sword and killed it, drank my water, and moved on. It felt so cool.
Made you feel like a badass.
Yes.
You had told me about that, and then later on when I got spotted by a drone on accident, I was like, wait a second, I know what to do here. It works way too well deflecting their bullets.
So you were talking about wanting a second throwing knife, and that the reason I was talking about Pan Am is there's a quest in the Pan Am line that you take out some of the Raffin, and I don't know if I thought I found an iconic throwing knife that was a neurotoxin knife. Am I remembering that right, Panda?
Not iconic, and it doesn't actually do poison. I'm very confused by that because I got the neurotoxin knife and I was like, haha, this is the build. And then I read it and it doesn't actually, it's just a name. The iconic weapon that was in there was something else. At least for me, it was. It was a gun of some sort. So I was very confused by that too.
Am I wrong? Because I thought there was an iconic neurotoxin knife,
Maybe there's a different one, but mine
and it did poison.
was purple, I'm pretty sure. Speaking of the DLC, if there's an easy way for me to get it.
Okay.
In the DLC, there's a vendor who is like a specialty vendor and sells basically all the iconics from the game.
Which
I
is how
think it's
you
all
got
of them.
which is how you got the sword,
Yeah, that's how I got the sword that I missed that I really needed.
especially for the build that you've got. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not crazy, Chase. I wanted to double check. Throw a weapon to deal damage to distant enemies. It's a knife. Attacks against poison enemies have a 100% chance to cause bleeding. Attacks against bleeding enemies have a 100% chance to cause poisoning.
And it's iconic?
Iconic.
And
Which
it's
means
in that.
it's in that raft. It's in the mission where you have to go into the cave. You go into the cave, right? Is it the one before
Oh,
that?
it's in a different one?
It's the last mission I did for Pan Am. That's all I'll say. The very short one where somebody called me and said, yo, let's do this for Scorpion.
That one. Gotcha. I know what you're talking about. Yep. I know what you're
That
talking
makes more sense. If I can avoid it, I'm just gonna buy it instead because I don't actually really want to finish Pan Am's story.
Her story was very interesting. What don't you like about her? I'm curious.
I don't think she really thinks things through too much. I think she's a little too rash and a little too hot-headed. I just don't vibe with her. I just don't.
She just got beef with the clan leader, and everybody likes her, and she's like a big community member, and she does a lot for the clan. It's just they don't see eye to eye, and like watching their relationship is, I think, really cool.
She's got beef with everyone. I have not heard her say a good thing about anyone besides the people in the clan that aren't the leader. I tell her that, hey, I got to do this mission. Do you have a plan? She says no, goes off drinking, is like, meet me back here at midnight. So I do. And she's like, okay, here's the plan. And I'm like, cool, you know, I need him alive. Like, I need him alive. And she's like, yeah, her plan goes sideways. That's fine. Not her fault. It was a good plan. her plan does interfere with my cybernetics and causes me a ton of issues, but that she couldn't have known that. It's fine. And then she pulls out a fucking rocket launcher and shoots down the thing that has the guy that I'm like, hey, I need him alive. Like she's too rash. I don't really get along with her.
She doesn't know the rest of that. So, yeah.
There's an entire part where one of my options I could say to her was, "Hey, you just like fighting everybody, don't you?" And she was like, "Yeah, be happy I'm on your side." Like she knows she's an asshole. Like she knows that she's just going up against everybody.
That's the nomad mindset. Family first, clan first. You do what you got to do. Fuck everybody else. Like that's everybody's out to get you. You got to do what you got to do for your people. And at the time, you were her only people.
But she's picking fights she doesn't need to pick, which also puts her people at risk. She's not doing great with her clan right now because she's not 100% there for them, which is fine. But she goes into Night City, starts talking to people, and then just immediately is like, nah, actually, fuck them. Like, she doesn't even try to work with her fixer. She just immediately, one thing went sideways and then just immediately hated Rogue. Like, I don't know. I don't like the way she goes about business.
Rogue did try to fuck her over, to be fair.
Did Rogue tell Nash to steal her stuff, or did Rogue set her up with Nash? Because Rogue got paid up front, so Rogue did her part. Anything that happened in the job after that, that's between the people who were working it. So, did Pan Am put too much trust in the person that she was set up to work with, and then blame the fixer who already did their part of the job? Like I didn't get a clear answer on if Rogue actually said, "Oh yeah, I'll fix you guys up," and then Nash, go ahead and fuck her over. But she puts all of her anger on Rogue as well.
Because the fixer's supposed to set you up with somebody who's going to help you succeed. That's why. And then she got fucked over by Nash, and she wasn't angry. She wasn't like angry with Rogue. She was angry, and it was just happened to be directed to Rogue because she's the one that sent you to go fix with her again.
To go help her after her last job went sideways. To go help fix the mess that she feels a little responsible for. She didn't need to send me to help out Pan Am. Rogue already got paid. Rogue doesn't care what happens with Pan Am.
But Rogue needs something fixed, funny enough. So that's why she sends us out to fix the mistake.
Yeah, but then Pan Am calls Rogue at the end after you take out Nash and all of them. Rogue calls Pan Am and Pan Am calls Rogue, and she's like, "There, I fixed it for you. You should be happy." And Rogue was like, "Hey, my end was already good. Like I was good." So Rogue didn't need to fix this at all. As long as the item still got sold to the buyer, Rogue was good. Rogue already got paid. Rogue's end was already upheld. Didn't matter who sold it.
But nobody sold it.
Nash would have, had we not interfered.
Would he have?
Yeah, that's what they were meeting up for when we stole back the car.
But would he have?
I mean,
Because Pan Am could have interfered anyway.
that's on Pan Am. It was getting sold either way. Rogue's end was already done. She was already paid.
But we took care of it. So it's all that matters.
I don't know. I don't work with Pan Am's mindset. Her the way she does business so far.
Honestly, it's not just a nomad mindset. In the way that I've been playing my Street Kid, it's the same kind of mindset, except it's not take care of my people. It's take care of myself. Same idea. It's still a nomad mindset in a way. It's just you're in the streets instead of out in the countryside. So
Corpo ass mindset. Get out of here.
mm.
Go hit on Takamura.
I tried. He ghosted me. No, I don't know. I'm helping people and doing causes that I feel are good, but also I'm making these connections because I need help. And what's the best way for me to get this help? Making these connections and working with people and helping them and them helping me. So,
Pan Am can help you too.
I got a whole ass clan helping me now.
Yep.
I don't trust Pan Am.
Her sniper is nice.
Yep.
How you liking that, Chase?
Very good. Hits like a truck. But a lot of times I'm using the
Pistols.
pistol the silenced pistol, and then I've got I think that one's silenced as well, right? That
The
sniper.
sniper? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got a custom barrel on it.
Yeah. So anytime that I'm in a fight where I can't deal enough damage with the pistol, I swap to the sniper if I've got distance. If I don't, then I'm swapping to cybernetics and still using the pistol, trying to get hidden to the point where I can deal enough damage.
Have you been upgrading your stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my pistol's
Good.
at tier 3 plus, I think, right now.
Okay.
I have been, but I've currently put a pause on upgrading because I need one more of the like yellow iconic uh upgrade materials so that I can craft a grenade that I was given by a random side quest.
You get a lot of clothes in the DLC, and I feel like a lot of iconic material. Like it's very rewarding, and it's just here, take this, take this. My only complaint about the DLC so far is it's dark, like too dark. I don't know if it's HDR that's doing that or what, but like it's hard to see sometimes, and I'm playing in like a pitch black room.
No, it can't be HDR because mine it has the same damn thing and I can't see anything. I don't have HDR on my monitor. I have the same computer. I could run it. I just don't. It's not compatible with my monitor. Um, yeah, I can't see anything. Like, how do I not have a flashlight built into my eyeballs or something? Because holy crap.
My sword is 4 plus, or whatever the purple is, plus, and then my throwing knife is 4.
Yeah.
Um, I think I'm gonna do the proper thing and get them both to 4 plus, so then make them both iconic or the tier 5. There's nothing above 5 though, because my pistol is I think 4, 4.5. And then I looked it up and it was just 5 is it. But I didn't realize until I want to say last night or 2 nights ago that when you're crafting or upgrading, I guess you can craft you can use white parts to craft green, like the actual upgrade materials. I didn't realize that until like right before, and I was like, oh, cool. So then I upgraded some things because you don't need really anything below blue at this point.
Right.
Most of the stuff we're getting is 3 plus,
Yep.
like 3 up, I guess.
Yeah, everything I'm getting is I'm not getting any 2s and 1s anymore. And if
Oh,
I
I
am,
do.
they're instantly dismantled.
I didn't realize when you pick up broken weapons, it automatically converts to parts. I did not
Yep.
realize that until this last week. That's really nice.
It's a good quality of life thing.
Yeah,
Not making you go through your inventory, playing inventory management like Division, like Destiny.
that's nice. Um, yeah, I don't have a ton. Game still looks beautiful, runs fantastic on higher end PCs. Um, my do we have any overall complaints about the game? Because I have one. Um, why does this game have built-in FOMO? Like I'm scared everything is a time sensitive quest. And like I'll go all the way, I'll finish a quest or a step on a quest line. I'll go on to the next one on a different quest line, and then it's the first person calls me and I'm like, I was just okay, I'll go back. And then I already started the other one and it's like leaving mission area. And I'm like, oh God. So I have to finish this one as soon as possible. And like I'm running through just missing things and I'm scared I'm gonna miss other things.
Does it help if I tell you that none of them are actually really time sensitive?
a little, but I know there are some that are, and I'm pretty positive the end of Pan Am's was, which was my issue, and I was like, oh god, I have to go back. And that's the one that you got the knife for, which I'm happy I did. Um, but I don't know. There's too many calls of things going on at once. I had what I say like 13 active quests last night or something. Like this is way too many. I've done 49 quests and I have like 16 or 13 active. Like this is a little overwhelming. And I'm 25 hours in. Like it's not like I'm starting and it's just here's everything at once.
I think I have probably about that many, but I just ignore most of them until I feel like I actually want to do them. I haven't run into any so far that are actually time sensitive. I still treat them that way because I really like it storyline wise. But for example, I was doing a quest last night in the DLC with Aaron. I don't know if you've done his side quest yet, but he's a boxer. And he has a kind of cool quest, and you have to break into somewhere with him. And one, I spent way too much time trying to figure out what something in one of the missions even possibly meant. Like it told me how to find the alarm code through a shard that was talking about like, hey, stop setting off the alarm. You're pissing everybody off. You're the only one who's doing this to like one of the employees. And they're like, it's written right above here every day. It changes every day, but it's written there every day. So just do it. And I could not figure out what they were talking about. So I just kept setting off the alarm like the guy that they were talking to. And finally I was like, fine, fuck it. I'll just set off the alarm. We're going to go in like difficult mode. Um, but while I was in that quest area, I was running around everywhere trying to find where this code was written down, and I left the quest area. And as soon as I left the quest area, I got a call from Judy to progress her story. Now I have to do Judy's story because I love Judy. And her storyline is really, really cool. Like I just support her cause, okay? It's super cool. But I didn't get that call until I left the quest area. It won't give me the calls if I'm in an active quest area where someone's like following me or something. So I know that that's a thing that's in place in the back end somehow. Uh, During this though, I did accidentally mess up Aaron's quest. I don't know what I did, but it just said it didn't even say I failed it. It just closed the place and I ended up having to reload a save to try to figure out what happened. Um, so it is possible to like end quests by leaving the area. But I do think the game is working on the back end some to make sure that you're not getting time sensitive calls during quests that it knows you can't leave.
That makes sense. I mean, I'm happy there's so much content, and I've only done what I feel like are main quests mainly. Like all of the character stories, those are semi main quests. The actual main quest with Takamura, which is almost like his background in a way, it seems like. Um, it's kind of hard to tell what is main quest almost. I feel like you have so many different paths and everything. I know it says like main quest and everything and gigs and all that. But I haven't done like any side gigs yet for any of the fixers. I just haven't felt like they've been important yet. Um, I am gonna play over the next 2 weeks as well, just to try to finish everything. Um, but yeah, currently there's a lot.
So I never really look at what's like a side gig versus a main gig kind of thing, but I've seen it pretty clearly as I thought there were three main quest lines. There was Takamura's um no, actually no, that doesn't make sense. The way I've been just picturing it, not even looking, is Takamura's, Pan Am's, and the Voodoo Boys as being the three main quest lines. But now that I'm thinking about it, I guess I don't. I kept thinking of Pan Am's as a main quest line, but I guess I haven't really been treating it as one. Obviously,
You have.
um,
Judy's has to be one too.
I I don't feel like Judy's is because of no Judy's would have to be because it started with that. So four main quest lines, but I haven't been viewing Judy's as because it got so far away from I'm doing this to save myself kind of thing.
And then you add the DLC, and it's another main quest.
Yeah, that one seems very important to me. Going into the DLC, I thought, oh well, there's no way that this can be an ending because the game already existed and this happens in the middle. So I thought I kind of felt like there was less severity to it, like less point to it because it was just all side stuff. But you told me that may not be the truth.
You can end the entire game. It's a choice. It's not like an accidental thing. But you can choose to end it in Phantom Liberty. Which, depending on what my V would do, I might do that option. Like I'm guessing it's like go off with the president or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Um, but depending on what my character would do, it's an option. I do like that if you have the DLC, when you're like starting it for the first time, you can choose to hit new game, and when you do new game, you can choose to do from like scratch prologue and everything, or you can skip up to where Phantom Liberty calls. I don't know what level they'll set you at or anything like that, but you can start right at Phantom Liberty, and there's an ending that you can choose to very obviously get. So they made it its own contained story still, which I really like for the people that 100%ed it or have way too much time in the game, that they can just play Phantom Liberty as a standalone expansion. And if you don't want to, then you can do what we're doing and play it alongside. The fact that they give you that choice is really cool that they like work that out.
I'm very curious as to if it would give you like a slideshow of everything that happened up to that point if you do that. Also, how far have you gotten in the DLC, Panda? I think I might be farther than you in the DLC.
You definitely are. I just got kicked back out at Night City. So you're definitely further. I just finished the prologue essentially. They said they would call me back. So I think my next task is figure out Judy's stuff. Figure out why she hasn't called me. Or maybe she did and I missed it. Or she did and it didn't show up. I don't know.
I remember Judy's was triggered by something, but I don't remember what. I think it might be you doing the next part of Takamura's, which is like a non-part. Like it's just you'll do it super fast. But I think that might be when Judy called me after that because I remember being around that area when I got the call. Because then I had to rush to Judy's house. Judy's house is not very centrally located. And I'm fine rushing there, but every time I rush there, I'm like, no, I actually have to rush there. Like I need to high speed rush there, and then I end up crashing or something stupid. I was afraid that when you crashed your vehicle and destroyed it, it was actually going to have to be fixed and you're going to have to do stuff, but no, it's fine.
You got a really good mechanic, you know.
Segue into vehicles. What vehicles do we have, guys? Um, I have two motorcycles from quests. Jackie's, which I think we all have, and then I got one from Pan Am. And then I got my Nomad vehicle back, which is super cool. It's like a little, I don't know, just a small sedan in a way, a little boxy, square '90s looking sedan. But it is, or hatchback, I mean, but it is fast. You hear a turbo spooling, and then you hear the flutter, which is cool. It does like 130, I think, top speed, and then it handles really well. There's like a little side quest to get that back, kind of. That's pretty cool. Do you guys have special vehicles for your background?
I mean, just the car that originally you start with. So I got the street kid car, I guess technically.
I'm pretty sure I have the same street kid car. I just haven't gone to pick it up. Um, I Chase, have you gone to pick it up?
Nope, because
Oh,
I've got
okay.
bikes.
Ah, fair. I have Jackie's bike, and then I have the little truck thing they gave me in the DLC. Did you get that far in the DLC? Yes, you had to have because Mr. Hands gives it to you.
Yeah, you gave me the truck. That's where you get sent back out.
Optional to go back out. didn't go back out. That's how I accidentally ended up doing more of that store than you. He says, "Hey, I arranged for you to be able to," and then you don't have to. You can just stay.
That's fair. I had a quest marker to go there though to turn in the vehicle, basically, like right then.
Turn in the vehicle? He just gave me the vehicle. I just got to keep it. It's mine.
I got to keep it, but it was like, hey, come to my shop, and then it just immediately put a quest marker there. It was like all continual thing. I went back out to Night City and did the quest marker and did some more of that.
I don't have that quest. He just said, "Hey, if you ever want to stop by and talk while you're in Dogtown, feel free. If not, that's cool." That was it. I wasn't told to take the vehicle anywhere.
So you don't have a quest to go do car thing.
No. Are you talking about the lots of car things that we were talking about earlier? No, right? You're not talking about the Delamain stuff?
No. Trying to make it so it didn't echo, but you wouldn't mute, so it echoed. Sorry.
It really doesn't pick up that much anymore. Very weird. I mean, I'll have to check my quests. Maybe I'm supposed to do something with it, but from the conversation I heard, that was not it. He did tell me to maybe go help these guys at a church-doctor place, a surgeon that's operating out of a church. He did want help for his guys with that. Did you have that one?
Yeah, I did that as well. I thought that was just like mandatory DLC stuff, no?
I don't think you had to do it. Mr. Hands asked me to do it after giving me a vehicle, so I was like, okay, fine.
I guess I'll do it. Yeah, I did that.
I don't want to talk about that quest because Chase hasn't done it, but that quest.
Is there anything else we wanted to cover? Or is that about it for part 2? Am I missing anything crazy? We talked about builds, levels, um, some quests. Oh, did you go back? Is Barry okay?
Yeah, he's okay.
Ah, nice. You saved him.
Yeah,
Nice.
of course I did.
What were you gonna say, Squid?
Of course you do. I've tried organically twice to save this man.
You just don't talk right to him, I guess. I
Maybe
don't
you're
know.
a bully.
Okay, you're saying talk to him correctly, but that's not the part I did wrong. Did you talk to his partners afterwards?
Yeah, and then talk to him. He let me into his house, and I talked to him.
Yes, I did all that perfectly.
And then
Barry and I are best
afterwards,
buds.
I talked to his partners, and they went up and knocked on the door, and he let them in, and they talked, and he's fine.
I don't understand.
It's just a you thing.
So
You don't like Pan Am. You didn't save Barry.
Tried to protect Barry. I didn't tell his bully about his fucking turtle, and it turns out not talking about the turtle is a death sentence. And how was I supposed to know that? I was trying to protect Barry.
yeah, did you go do the turtle thing?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Did you, Squid?
Of course I did. That's how I know about the turtle. But I thought that if I told his bully about the turtle, he was just gonna get bullied some more.
Little did you know that the guy is actually not a bully. He's just a fucking hard ass.
I'd like to point out he was a bully in my timeline.
He was not a bully. He was just a hard ass.
In my timeline, he was kind of a bully. He felt bad about it afterwards, though.
Yeah, because he's a hard ass, not a
Well,
bully.
all covered in blood.
Of course, he was covered in blood because he fucking yeah.
Either way, regardless, if you don't save Barry, I think that is a hell of an intro to Cyberpunk, like as a game. Because you're just like, oh man. Then the writing is really good for his partner and everything, and it's just like that's not really a quest, really. I mean, it is, but like, especially starting out, you have no idea, and then you just go through and you're like, oh, well, that okay.
I
Just
take it
sets
you
the
saved
tone.
him.
No, no,
You
I
didn't save me?
no. He let me in, and I was like, yeah, oh yeah, nah, we're cool. And then I did some stuff, and I went back, and then that was it. Like caution tape was on the door, and I did not do well.
I'd like to point out that when I got in there, I had failed this quest once before, so I scoured his apartment for guns so I could steal his gun. And that was not an option. And I think there should be an update to make it so that if I get invited into his apartment, I can steal his gun for his own safety.
We don't know he used a gun.
There was so much blood. There could have been blood different ways. Yeah, no, that's possible, I guess. For some reason, I just assumed he shot himself because of horrifying, terrible real life statistics, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, Barry is alive in one of our games, and I'm happy.
Barry lives.
On your timeline.
Dang. R.I.P. Turtle.
I tried my best.
R.I.P. Barry. Honestly.
If I ever get a turtle, I'm naming it Barry.
Never getting
Never
a
getting a
turtle.
turtle.
Not Turt Reynolds. I've had a turtle. I don't want another turtle.
Do you remember where Turt Reynolds is from?
I do, because that game also caused emotional damage.
We should play that at some point.
I'm scared to finish playing that game.
The game is called Firewatch.
Mm.
You're a forest Firewatch person. He's good. That is all.
I wasn't even playing it, and I cried.
Cyberpunk. Part 2, episode 32, part 2.
Wait, no, I have one more question. Do you guys like Johnny? Do you get along with Johnny? Like, do you
In my
hate? Like,
in my timeline, I do.
Johnny's pretty chill. I didn't like him at first, and then he's just kind of out for himself, which I respect. Like, I get it. He needs my help as much as I need him, and we're both kind of just fucked. It is what it is. We're kind of a terrorist, like you pointed out. Um, ooh, it relates, I swear. Um, have you noticed in the loading screens at the very beginning of the game when you start it for the first time, like when you're playing, the dialogue changes on what's on the radio in the loading,
Hmm.
and where I did Pan Am's quest, and you shoot or she shoots the thing down, the radio host is like $1.3 million of damage, blah blah blah, and Johnny's like, Jesus V, you're almost as bad as me, and I was
Yeah,
just like, yeah, no, like we're
that's
equally
fair.
fucked here, got it.
I didn't like Johnny until we found some backstory, and then actually I didn't like him much after the backstory either. But the DLC gives some really good background on Johnny that I think is very necessary for actually liking his character.
Yeah, if you're gonna play more of this, I recommend the DLC so far. It's a lot of character building for a few people. It doesn't go on sale that I've seen like ever,
It's because
but
it's good.
it is good. A lot of people say it's the best part of the game, and it's only been out for like 6 months, 7 months, I think. It was like late last year, so it's still newer.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, final reviews, yes. Uh, Depending on if we do finish this next episode, we could split it in half depending on what we roll this week. Or we could just do a quick like review score update or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, quick little like bonus episode. Oh, we didn't talk about clouds. We said in the last episode we were going to talk about clouds. I did it 100% stealth.
Nope. I went bull rushing in there and blew people's heads off.
The door opened and I went in, and then he was like, "Hey, you're not welcome here." And then I killed everyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did 100% stealth and it had very large repercussions for later storyline that I am now really curious as to what's going to happen in your guys's.
Is it
Later story for
part of the Judy
Judy?
line?
Yeah.
Did you do that part of the Judy line, I'm guessing? What I'm thinking anyway? Where you go and talk to the person at Clouds?
What? Yes.
No?
Wait,
Yes?
how
Okay,
far
yeah.
in the Judy? He hasn't. Are you talking about the person I think you're talking about?
The person that you go down to the basement and take care of?
Yeah, you're really far in the Judy storyline.
Mhm.
Okay, you're way farther than I thought you were.
Yeah.
I'll cover my ears.
Oh, I thought he was just gonna take his headset off.
He's gonna take the headset off too. That's funny.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, okay, you're way farther than
Yeah.
I thought you were. Cool.
Yeah, I took care of that guy and talked to the person upstairs, and yeah,
And you don't love Judy?
I don't dislike Judy.
Okay.
Pan Am's, yeah, I just like Pan Am.
We
I
have
don't know.
different values here. I think okay, so I'm gonna lead this with I think it's because one of the first things I learned about Cyberpunk was the mocks. Like that's the gang I learned about first, and I thought that was the coolest shit. Like I super support the mocks. I loved that. Like what I learned. I mean, what I learned could be wrong, so if they're horrible, don't hold me to this. But I really liked that, and I liked what they were for and what they like stood for. So that's I think that's why Judy's storyline is more more of a draw to me is because it's intertwined with the mocks kind of. And one of the reasons I don't like Pan Am is because I got stuck on one of her missions. Because when you my first playthrough, when you go into the cave, right? And she's like, okay, hold on. And then we all go in. She puts your door towards the enemies. And I think that's selfish. And I don't think it was actually meant to be like a story thing, but I have not shook that because I went into that way under leveled the first time I did it and I kept getting stuck. And then I was like, why is she pulling in like this? Why is this how she set it up? And I think it's selfish.
It's not. There's actually cover right there.
There is, but if you're driving into a whole bunch of people with guns, are you putting your passenger as the only
Yes.
one in? No,
If there's cover,
99% of the time, yes.
if there's cover right there, like they open their door and boom, there's cover right there, which is the case in that fight. Yes, because then now I've got cover. My passenger also has cover right there too. It's fine.
she could have swung the car the other way,
If she
and
swings, there was
she would
no.
have had the same cover.
No, there was not the same cover on the left-hand side. The right-hand side was the only
Mm,
spot that had the cover.
I think it was a selfish move.
This is
That's
just Squid just not liking Pan Am for any reason possible.
I
That's
think it
all.
started here.
No, the Pan Am thing is because of the ache you got from all the creeps when the game came out.
No, that's Judy. We actually didn't talk about that either. Go back and look at people's tweets from when Cyberpunk came out and search for the word Judy and just you will be able to tell someone's character because the amount of people that I saw going in and being like, "Oh, I love Judy. Judy's the best. She's a great character." Like I love her as a character. And then being upset that they couldn't romance her and not accepting it and being creeps about it. I think it shows a lot. And I know she's a character, right? She's written, she's not real, but you had so many people being like, "Oh, she's the best, like perfect written character, but I don't accept this part of her." And it was creepy, dude. There was like some ick I got from Judy fans to the point where I wasn't gonna romance her in my first playthrough because the ick.
But now it's Takamura or Judy.
No,
Ooh,
the president or the president.
or the president. No, I didn't actually mean to ask the president out. I just told her to get me some good food, and she took that as me hitting on her. I don't know. There is a character in the DLC though that if that's a romance option, one, I don't know how that would work, but two, that would be very interesting.
Okay.
I don't know how that would work, but it would be interesting. Maybe my V could pull it off. 19 RAM slots.
Okay.
Final thoughts? Are
Sure.
we there?
I don't know.
I have the power. Squid, go.
Oh wow. Okay. Um I really like this game. This is the game that we've played that I've probably put the most hours in since we shook it up and started making it 2 week slots. I've been pretty stuck. I really like the storyline. I really like the writing for characters, even characters that I don't agree with. There are things in Pan Am's story that I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Because like I want to see how it all plays out with her feeling guilty about what happened and everything. Um, I am so close to forgetting how poorly this game ran. And I'm not gonna judge it on when it came out. Okay, I'm gonna judge it on now. Um, I haven't had a ton of bugs. I had a audio one yesterday that was really weird. I had this weird slingshotting thing, but you have a game that has so many possible moving parts and they all interact, you're gonna have some weird physics sometimes. Like it's gonna happen. I watched a vehicle speed around for some reason. I could not figure out why it was speeding for one. But it was like it was running away from the cops and it ran into a truck. And then I just sat and watched the truck recover to see like what it would do pathing wise, because it clearly wasn't supposed to be hit. And it was completely knocked off of where it was supposed to be. And it was really interesting to see how the game handled that. And it did really good. But this game runs really bad unless you have a really good PC. That being said, I have a good PC now. And I want to assume that it probably also runs this well on console. I don't know, but I hope it runs this well on like PS5. I'm going to give Cyberpunk a 10.
Wow.
And I'm going to overlook the hours I had to spend trying to make this game run, which I probably shouldn't do, but I think everything else has made up for it on this past like 3 weeks.
Wow. Cyberpunk is fixed. Squid confirmed.
If if you have a good PC. If you don't have a good PC, is like a 9 point. No, it's like a 9.5. But it really won me over. It won with the story and the graphics and just the large playability of it, because you can run around for so long and it'll feel the most like an actual city I've ever played in a game. So it was a hard one to overcome, but it did it.
I agree with I'll go next. I agree with some of that. Um I cannot overlook how bad it ran on consoles, it being delisted from stores. That's not acceptable. No game should launch that bad. And it was because, in my opinion, greedy shareholders that were like, no, this has to come out now. I don't care. Devs wanted to push it back. And yes, it's a core redemption story. It's not acceptable to release games in that state, regardless of company. Like it wasn't early access, which if a game releases that bad in early access, whatever. As long as it doesn't take 4 years of early access, or there's no DLC in early access, looking at UARC, or if they use early access for early access reasons, that's fine. 6 months to a year, fix your game, cool. But this really is, it was a $60 game, 70 on next gen, and just no. That being said, now I haven't heard any complaints on new hardware. Sorry, like next gen PS5, X Series X. I haven't heard any issues. I have two coworkers, one on PS5, one on Series X, that are loving it, that are replaying it right now. Um, One of them played it during Phantom Liberty, and 1.5, 2.5 updates fixed it for them. And they're both on console. So I'm guessing it runs fine. Watching you struggle on a 20, on a 1080 Ti, which is still a solid card, I can't give it a 10 because that's today issues, and that's not bad hardware. Not top of the line, but it's not bad. It's 6 years old. Like, you spend thousands of dollars on a PC, you should make it last more than 6 years. And other games were fine. Um, that being said, the writing, the visuals, the path tracing, this is NVIDIA's like poster child for their DLSS and like, look what our hardware can do. If you're fortunate enough to play it on good hardware, it is one of the best games on PC, in my opinion. Um, it does feel a little overwhelming at times, but there's never lack of content, which is good. I'm never running around an empty city like, what do I do now? It's more of like, there's so much to do. Stop calling me, which isn't a bad issue to have. Um, to me, because it launched so poorly, I'm debating between a 9 and a 9.5. I'll give it a 9.5. But to me, it can't earn that 10 just because of the state it was in and is still in on PC unless you're in like ray tracing hardware. But the game itself in its current state on a good PC is an amazing experience.
Fortunately, we all have good hardware
Yeah,
now. Um, so I didn't get to experience everything at launch like you guys did.
yeah.
So all I'm seeing is based on what I see now. Um,
Which is
that being said, it's the best part.
yeah, it's great. If you
Um,
have been waiting for it, play it now.
yeah. That being said, I can't give it a 10 because I had audio bugs all throughout the city while I was playing, and I've got good hardware. I had cars that sounded like they were revving up, driving as fast as they could, and they were sitting still, parked in on the side of the road multiple times. I had sounds of gunshots, nothing happening. I had audio bugs all over the city, and I searched for the gunshots because I was trying to make sure that I took out anybody that would be trying to kill anybody. So I had audio bugs throughout the city. That doesn't mean that it's necessarily always going to be like that. They can always fix things like that, of course. So I can't give it a 10 either. Um, but the game is great. The story is great. The art, everything about that, you really do feel like you're in a city that is, you know, it's run down, of course, but you feel like you're in a city that, with the amount of people that are there, the amount of interactions that you can have with the different people, including characters. Um, I was gonna give this an 8.5, but I'm gonna go 9. I think I'm gonna give this a 9. I've been enjoying a lot about this game, and yeah, I feel like 9 for me is right where it should be.
This is another game that if you played it at launch, even with good hardware, I don't know if you would have liked it.
Yeah, I think it would have tainted my opinion of it for sure.
I think it needs to be said, I can overlook a lot of jank if you give me really good storytelling. I mean, even at launch, I didn't mind this that much. I wasn't as grasped by the story, and that's probably because of some of the issues I had at launch, but even at launch, I didn't think the game was that bad because it was very interesting. So, I do think I'm probably overlooking a lot of jank, but
If you have a 30 series card, almost any 30 series at this point,
Yeah.
definitely any 40 series card, and you have been curious about it, get the game. It's current state. I understand the tens. Um, my review, if I played it for the first time, I would be probably a 10 as well right now. But I don't know. I'm bitter about things. I'm
No, it makes
grumpy.
sense. I would say that both Panda and I value performance of games more. Both of us are like that.
Definitely.
And I don't know if that's because of the type of game that we come from, like the kind of background of games that we play, or
Maybe.
if
Hold on. I don't know.
Squid, you base a lot of or play a lot of games that have a lot of story based uh arc to them. So you're not playing games where you need the performance for like a first person shooter as much. Of course, now you are with Fortnite, but you Zoomer.
I still play that on 60.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, so she doesn't even need the performance on
Y-
a game where you do
No,
need the performance.
60 is fine for her regardless of game. And if I get anything below like 150 on a first person or anything competitive, I'm like, what is going on? This feels like trash.
Yeah. So I think that has a part to it, though. Is we play games that involve every millisecond counts. We played Rocket League for the longest time. Every millisecond counts in that game. Destiny, PvP, every millisecond counts. So I feel like performance is much more important to us as far as when a game is being played.
No, I think that's definitely it. I approach almost every game I play from a story standpoint and like a character standpoint for how they're written. Um, I play a lot of like point and clicks. One of my favorite games of all time. Gameplay's not gameplay. For a lot of people, is what I'll say. I'm not big on performance. Like I said in the last episode, frames wise, I want it to run steady, but I don't care what the frame rate is. I'll still play in 30. Um, it's fine. But if you get a story and a world that interests me, and you make it so that that's what I want to play when I get home, and that's what I'm thinking about, then you've won a lot of points just right there.
I also play games a lot for social. Like we've been playing Farming Simulator because it's just a fun social game. And that's what Rocket League used to be for us too.
Yeah.
Before we took it serious, it was a game we all loved and it was just let's all hang out after work for years together and talk and just have fun.
Yep.
And
Minecraft, same way. We've
yeah,
done
like
the
we
same
all
thing
go
with
through.
Minecraft.
I've been itching for Minecraft, but I know Power World is in 3 days and I can't.
Uh, Division's the same way. We play that game to
Yeah,
be.
social.
We've very been social all along. I mean, you, me, and Wolf have played together for forever.
Thousands of
Um,
hours.
yeah. Um, Destiny was the same way for me. I don't not maybe not so much for you, but
It was. And then when I was the only one playing it, it was like I need to chase something to enjoy it, and then I got what I wanted, and I would stop playing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wish
So
this game wasn't so involved in a way where I could hang out with you guys while playing it. Because just to get lost in the city would be great. But there's so much going on. Like, this is a main monitor only game. I mean that in the regard of you can't have anything on. No YouTube, no Spotify, no
yeah,
friends. You are in Night City and that is it.
yeah. Like we would be in a voice call while we were streaming this game, and I would have myself
Silence.
muted. He would have himself muted. Squid would have herself muted. We'd all be muted, just playing the game, and then there'd be just we would unmute and say something and talk for like 30 seconds, and then it's silent again, and it's just so
Usually
yeah,
say, I'm in a cutscene, and it's like, oh, okay, sorry.
exactly.
I did watch YouTube while playing this game, but only in a very specific circumstance. While I was driving around somewhere, I would put it on like it was the radio, and it was just the radio station that I had chosen.
But the music's so good in this game.
It is pretty good. I also did turn off streamer mode for the music because I wanted to actually hear the music.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna upset you guys.
Go on.
I fast traveled everywhere.
Same. But I would wait till dialogue finished if I'm in a car, and then
Yeah.
I would, all right, skip ride.
Yep.
But yeah,
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
immersion. Did you guys use the metro at all though? Because I didn't use that at all.
No.
I have not touched it yet. No.
I used the metro as a fast travel point one time. That's it.
Is it just a fast travel? Is there
Yep.
anything cool? It's
Well, I don't
not
know.
cinematic at all. Oh, you would have hit skip.
Hmm.
I'm gonna use the metro just once just to find out.
Cool. So what was our consensus then?
Our consensus for Cyberpunk 2077 is a 9.5, which
Not
is
too shabby.
about where I figured it would be.
Same as Baldur's
Uh,
Gate, I believe.
no, more than Baldur's Gate. Same as Pal
Oh.
World though.
Ooh.
That puts it at tied for first for
2?
this year.
Oh
Tied
yeah,
for
that's right.
first.
'Cause she ruined Division.
I ruined nothing.
2 10s, and we can't get a good review out of it.
SMH.
I'd
Unbelievable.
You know what, Panda? We should have replaced her with Wolf for that one episode.
Or we should have brought Wolf in, so it'd be 3 10s and then a 9. I would have
Yeah.
won it.
I would
No,
have done it, yeah.
she didn't do it. She didn't give a 9. She gave a 4.5 for Division.
Oh. She hates us. Got it.
Yeah.
Story can overcome only so much.
All right. Time for the wheel.
Of
What?
There we go. So
you thief.
you
You
said you weren't
thief.
going to. You said you
You
weren't going
thief.
to. You said you weren't going to. So I did.
Wow.
Panda, what game did you put on the wheel?
Metal Hellsinger. It's a Doom-like rhythm game. It's fantastic.
If you'd said Pummel Party, I would have said I put it on there for you. Squid, you put on Superliminal.
One of these days I will get it.
And at the request of Panda, I put on Pummel Party. I had Farming Sim on there, so
It's not the request of Panda. This was his choice, not mine.
no, it was Panda's. It was at the request of Panda. Don't let him fool you. The wheel has been set to a random time. Here we go. What will we be playing for episode 33 of 10 Hour? Let's find out.
I'm just hoping it's not the PP, not Pummel Party. It's what you get.
It's gonna be yours.
This is way too many in a row for not having
You should have.
anything.
You should have done Pummel Party.
What have you?
What do
You
you mean?
like,
What have I done?
you like broke the universe. It only lands on you now.
He's just getting lucky on the spin.
I'm excited. This game's good. It's fun. I played it for a little bit, but not much.
I'm excited to try this one because I've never understood games like this one, except for one time it just clicked. So I've wanted to try a game like this.
This has the Zen rhythm game moment, but you feel like a badass instead of just like, oh, that was IFC the song. Cool. This is like Doom style rhythm game. It's cool.
Does that not make you feel like a badass in rhythm games normally?
No, normally I look around and it's like, oh yeah, nobody cares. But in this, people are like, oh cool, shooter to the rhythm? Hell yeah. It's more flashy. Usually rhythm games, if you play on 6 speed, everybody's like, oh wow, this person's so good, regardless of how well you do. Cool. Episode 32. Cyberpunk Part 2. I am Violent Panda and Violent Panda underscore on some things. You can find the podcast at our website. Oh, actually, no, we changed our handle for Instagram and X/Twitter. We are at 10 Hour Pod now. We thought it was just a little bit more concise. We like the name. Plus, trying to tell people hour, 10 hour, like, or 10 hour was confusing to people. Our website, however, is still our 10 hour at podbean.podbean.com. All right, did I do it?
You did.
Hour 10hour.podbean.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can find squid in the ocean.
One of these days, I'm actually going to look up the Animal Crossing chart and say the exact months you can find squid in the ocean. That was the reference of that, and I've just never looked it up to make the full joke. You can find me at Are You Squid Me on basically all the things.
Chase.
Oh, you wanted me to go? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You can find me at Chaser931 underscore on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Kick. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. You already did it.
Yeah,
Okay. So what are you sitting there staring at me for?
yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Now what?
You
Oh,
must
bye.
progress farther in the storyline to unlock the next call from Takamura.
I'll work on it. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.